Okay, I'll call to order the village board meeting, for 7 o'clock, Monday, I almost said June, July 14th, 2025. Can we do roll call of officers? I don't know, you guys have this all
It's different,
weird,
but we have to do
this
the
is
pledge.
different, I don't know how to read this.
So we're gonna do the pledge.
Okay, we'll stand for the pledge of allegiance. It's all different.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You guys changed this up on me. Rosie don't like change. Okay, now roll call of officers.
Andrew Bartley, Roseanne Guide, Sarah Heisler, Chris Clear, Rose Sellers, Kevin Schuler, and Dan Wolf.
Do we have any public input?
Yeah, just want to report on the baseball tournament we had at the end of June. For the youth baseball, there was a total of 50 games of baseball that were played on our diamonds in Belgium. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 34 teams that came from 22 different communities throughout the state. Some of the communities were Ripon, Kaukauna, Crivets area, Wind Lake, Green Bay, and then some area ones, and a lot of communities in between. So teams travel quite a ways to come to the tournament. A lot of repeat teams, so they like the facilities, that's why they come back here. Champions for the 10U was Sheboygan, 12U was Sheboygan, 13U was Manitowoc, and 14U was Senegal, Belgium. There was one boy from Ripon that was 12 years old that was killed in a bike accident 2 days before. Our tournament that was supposed to come to our tournament, he's been to our tournament the last 2 years. He was hit by a car up in Ripon on his bicycle, and the buddy of his was injured too. So his friend came along, the teams came down, they ended up coming here and playing. Our association got a big banner made with his picture on it, and they hung that by the team bench while they were playing. So they won one game, they played through Saturday and then ended up losing, but so it's kind of cool to see. But again, I every year I get a ton of compliments from other communities that come here that repeat coming here because of the facilities. So I just want to thank the village board. Grafton was extremely, I guess, jealous of our facilities.
As should be.
But just even the bigger cities, Appleton's, Green Bay's, Sheboygan's even complimenting our facility. So I just want to thank the village board for continued support of that and always being willing to put some money that way. So it goes a long way. That's what it is. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Unfinished business. 5-1, approval of Zaki County Mutual Aid Agreement. Oh, God, I always miss Leon. Sorry, Leon. Don't take it personal. Please forgive me. Okay, Leon, you're up.
Okay, for June, I registered 2 more golf carts, and then I also had a complaint from people walking at the one property. The dog kept coming out on the road towards the people. So that issue was remedied. He put an underground fence in for his dog, to keep the dog in the yard. And then I had another complaint of a guy, the dog had bit him twice previously. So I went over and talked to the owner. He wanted to make sure his backyard kennel was more secure. And I ended up going in the backyard with the homeowner, talking to him, looking at the fence, and he forgot his dog was outside, and the dog bit me 3 times.
Oh,
So
not badly, I hope. I mean,
Bad
didn't
enough.
draw blood.
I get a couple stitches and stuff.
Oh, Lord.
But anyway,
Brad,
we're
what are
still
you
working
thinking?
on that to try to get I know there's an ordinance with having a vicious dog, but according to the county, you have to have 5 strikes before they have to get rid of the dog. So he's gonna try to work maybe on getting the kennel completely enclosed, or I don't know if we should just pursue it and have them get the dog, surrender the dog.
How old is the dog?
It's probably an 8, 9-year-old dog, and it's a 3-legged dog.
Oh.
And it's an Australian healer, but none of the dogs are licensed, he's aware of that.
Okay,
But you did, in your report, I think, say it did have all its shots.
It's got all its rabies
That's
shots and everything, so
that's good.
I don't know if we should just leave it go, if he encloses it good and just keeps the dog yet,
So
or.
what was the original issue? Like, was a dog coming over?
Well, his neighbor's afraid to go outside in his yard, because the dog sometimes comes over in his yard and stuff, and he's just definitely afraid of the dog.
Is there a fence?
It's partially on the side, but the dog can go right
Like,
around the fence. And he's got a kennel in there, but it's in holding enclosed on basically 3 sides. He could still jump over the deck and
Okay.
get out if he wanted to.
Did you say it bit somebody before you previously?
Yeah, he bit the neighbor twice already, and he bit another guy, but the guy never filed a complaint, and now he bit me.
Sounds like a problem.
I think it's a problem dog. I think the dog should be gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Agreed.
I also agree. I mean, I don't
Brad?
know what Brad, tell us about this dog.
So we can pursue, citations. There's also, notification. Did you notify, you said you had talked to Sheriff's Department about it, but they're not?
Yeah, the sheriff's department were notified, they were over there, and they talked to him and everything.
Okay. What I can do is talk to Leon and follow up with the Sheriff's Department and.
See what our options are.
We see what we can do.
Okay.
And we have our own ordinance to go after it also. I'd like to find a little bit more about the prior bites and.
Okay.
Right. I know the other guy that was bitten before, he's got all kinds of documentation on it.
Okay,
So if the dog is surrendered, is the dog going to be put down?
Well, what happens is the dog goes for like puppy jail for observation for a few days.
That's usually just to make sure that the
Yeah.
dog is.
Well,
safe,
I-
Vicious,
but-
you know,
Yeah.
then the dog isn't showing signs of rabies.
Right, right.
This dog originally was a rescue dog, it came from Montana,
Yeah.
so.
I believe that the sheriff's department upon report would have put the dog in quarantine for 2 weeks.
right.
Yeah, it was.
Because that's what
they had to
happened
quarantine
when
for
a
10
dog
days.
of mine bit
I know
somebody.
I'm probably the minority here, but just concerned that the dog not be, there are no bad dogs, there are
Right,
bad
oh, no,
owners.
I agree too. Is there a way that you can surrender the dog to a farm? Right,
Yeah,
it's a
I know.
cattle dog.
The farming folks.
I didn't mean it like that way, where like, oh, my dad took my dog to the farm and it's gonna live there when really it's dead. No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant really honestly like a farm,
Well, we
like,
can always call Christy Nome and have her take care of it.
So we don't have this on for an action item, but I can work with Leon, find a little more about it. follow up
Okay.
With the Sheriff's Department, see what options are.
Yeah.
Report back.
yeah.
Next.
I mean, cause I would hate to see the dog put down too like that, especially, that's sad.
Given its
He only has
history.
3 legs, but a full set of teeth, correct. Okay,
But I grant that the owner needs to make sure that there is a
Right.
secure enclosure.
Correct.
That's why I say
Yeah.
bad owner, not bad dogs.
correct.
Owners have responsibility to maintain control of the dog.
Correct.
Whether it's on
I
a
agree.
leash or enclosed area.
Right.
Right.
Leon, are you okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just,
Look at,
It's getting healed up.
yeah.
good. Okay, did you have any more for us?
No, that's it.
All right, I'm sorry, I will not skip you next time.
Except for our closed stitches, yeah.
We also have an update on the burning.
Great.
Yeah.
I see the email on that.
Yeah. We had the one burning citation, the defendant did not appear in court, so we got a default judgment
Nice.
against him. So should close the matter for now, but he's just outstanding payment for the citation still.
Okay. Did I miss anything? Nope. Now I can, we already approved, I already skipped ahead to number 4, so now we'll go to number 5. Approve a Zaki County mutual aid agreement.
So this should have been taken care of last month, but I misunderstood what it was. And Pat has explained it to me now, so This is apparently a fairly standard thing that we do every year. It is a mutual aid agreement that basically says that the village, it goes to the fire departments, but also the villages, because if there's a fire in the village that were to, Pat, maybe you should explain.
So this is a draft mutual aid agreement. There was one in the past. It's basically updating, with the combination of Mac One and Teensville, is calling it Southern Ozaki, and Grafton and Saukville to Ozaki Central Fire. It's just a mutual aid agreement per state statute. That lists how mutual aid incidences would go, that each community goes to them. And then after 48 hours, if it's a major incident, that then communities can bill their invoice for their time. So that's why the municipalities get involved, because if we would have a major incident here, we may be accruing some costs from other departments, or if we go somewhere, we have the option of invoicing for that. Just that there'd be a major catastrophe, like a major train derailment or a tornado or something like that, we'd have to do that for many days. Since I gave this to them, there was a email that came through from the chiefs that there's one community that would like to revisit it and maybe mirror closer to the law enforcement one. So I'm just recommending that if Brad, if you're okay with that or whatever, just recommending that this be approved unless there's some changes that I'll come back to review of those changes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Ozaki County Mutual Aid Agreement, and pending revisiting if any significant changes occur.
I'll second.
Okay,
So they could just have Rosie sign it if, when it comes out of draft one, if there's no changes to it. Great.
okay. Motion's been made and seconded. Do we have any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. New business. 6.1. Discussion and possible action to the Public Safety Committee's recommendation to allow chickens or quails with details to be determined. So, I'm just gonna tell you my opinion. I looked a little bit into this. Well, that's what I do. I looked a little bit into this, and I think that, if everybody could just take a look at what Teresa had sent us as far as like the suggestions that she has. And I think the best way to do it is everybody kind of look at it, give an input on it, if you like it, if you don't like something in it. And that I think we should maybe then revisit it and make a ordinance through kind of what she emailed us, if you have an opinion on it and things like that, and then bring it back to the board, and then Brad can take a look at it. I don't think it has to go back to public safety again, right? You said?
It doesn't have to.
Or do you think it should, I guess?
I think the ordinance should, the draft ordinance should go.
Back to public safety?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we'll do that.
Regardless of where you guys go, you have to take a vote on approving or not approving public safety's recommendation.
Okay,
To
Right.
create an ordinance.
okay, so we don't have to agree on what they said in there?
Yeah, these
Okay.
were suggested details that they were just talking through.
Got it.
But the issue on the agenda is, are we going to proceed with creating
An ordinance.
an ordinance that allows chicken?
Got it,
Yes or no? And then at that point, public safety can work with Brad to, like, you
Create
can ask Brad to draft something
right,
that public safety can then go through and edit and make a recommendation.
right, okay,
And if that would move forward, that would require a zoning amendment, so there would be
more
Process
multiple
of
steps.
public
that we-
hearing
Yep.
for it.
Okay, so I guess that's the question. How do you guys all feel about chickens?
I'm not completely sold on this idea yet. I just feel this community as a residential area should stay as such, and introducing livestock into the area for our current residents and future residents. I don't think it's a good quality of life to maintain right now with that.
Well,
Anybody else?
I can go either way, as I think I mentioned at public safety. I'm totally on the fence on this one. I tend to agree with you. I wouldn't necessarily want chickens next door to me. But I also kind of feel that once people see how expensive and what a pain in the backside it is to keep chickens, that there's not gonna be a lot of them in the village. I just have a
That
intuitive
was my
sense
theory on it
that,
also.
yeah,
I mean,
so,
and
I can go either way, so I'm looking for stronger opinions amongst the.
My other concern is lot size. Lot sizes, space.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
staffing issue. I'm sure Leon has enough things to do already.
You don't wanna look at chicken coops, Leon.
We don't need him to get attacked by chickens.
Yeah, you don't protect the chicken, yeah.
More raccoons come.
No roosters.
No roosters.
But I think, and that was my theory on it too, is like, you know, if we're gonna do this, then, you know, not to be, I guess the right way, mean or unreasonable, but we're gonna make it as, you know, if you really want these chickens, then you have to have the proper lot size, because it's gonna have to be so many feet away from your neighbor's lot, let alone their residence.
Right.
Not everybody's gonna have, maybe somebody that does want chickens, their lot is not gonna be big enough or easy,
Right.
you know, to maintain those chickens. So, you know, I think by making it, I don't wanna use the word difficult, because I don't think difficult is the right word, but make it, you know, if you're really interested and really want these chickens, then you're gonna have to work to get these chickens. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you
Yeah.
make it, by some of the things that we laid out, or that Teresa laid out in that, you know, suggestions, I think a lot of that is, you know, 40 feet away from a neighboring structure, you know, and at least 10, I was gonna go 15 feet or 12 feet from the other person's lot line. You know, you can't have it butt up against their lot, you know, it has to be in the backyard. You know, and I think if they really want these chickens, and, you know, they're gonna have to work for it, you know.
Didn't we have single family houses on our suggested list? Like rentals, couldn't do it,
Yeah, so,
duplexes, wasn't that on our public safety, what we came up with that night?
That was, we didn't talk about renting persons. I mean, the owners would have to approve.
But I
I
thought we
thought-
looked at, didn't we say that?
Yeah, I kind
And
of
there were a
recall.
lot of suggestions going around. I mean, again,
yeah,
you guys are not.
we're not,
No, I know, but I
Yeah.
thought that was one of our suggested.
Yeah, because like with the
Details was-
duplexes, they're
That it would only
saying,
be for
they're
like
shared,
single family dwelling
yeah.
Right.
things.
I mean, and that's the other thing too, is I don't think it should be for duplexes, because I don't think, what if your neighbor in the duplex doesn't want chickens, you know? So I think it should be only just single family homes, no.
That was the other
And if it was a
thing, too,
duplex,
is
you'd have
that
eight
the requirement was you have to notify your neighbor.
Well,
Do they get to contest that?
well, that was my big issue too, and I think we were kind of basing it off of what the bill was that they sent to the state, which I think is an absolute ridiculous ask. So why do I have to notify my neighbor? Because if my neighbor doesn't have a say,
Right.
you know, so if you're notifying my neighbor, like if I notify Dan that I'm gonna get chickens, what if Dan says no?
Right.
Like, unless the neighbor has a say, I don't think notifying the neighbors is a correct thing. And like I was saying earlier, maybe not to you guys, but, you know, that's something that I wouldn't like that in our bill or in our ordinance, but if it's something that's in the bill for the state, that I think we could keep it out of our ordinance unless it's passed. Is that true, Brad? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Like, put it in there and say, you don't have to notify your neighbors unless the state law passes the bill stating that you do have to notify your neighbors.
Well, that's my other concern too with this state bill that's out there.
Right.
Do we now wait until that, if it goes through and passes, do we go off of that, or do we set parameters now?
I think
And then we have to renew it again in a year or whatever.
well, they're
So what is our
parameters.
commitment for tonight? I'm not clear on that. Are we saying that?
Public Works has made a recommend,
Public
Public Safety
Safety.
has made a recommendation that we proceed with amending our ordinances to allow chickens. That's it.
Okay.
The
So this would be an
terms-
ordinance change.
None of the specifics would be.
Yeah, none of the
None of
specifics are
this is
included.
just that we would proceed with the intent to change the ordinance.
Okay, so we would not be changing
You
ordinance
would
tonight.
not
No.
be doing anything tonight, because as Brad said, it's a zoning
Lot of
thing, it
details.
requires many, many steps, but public safety did not wanna waste a lot of
Yes.
time coming up with terms if the board is going to say we're not doing it
No, right.
anyway.
Okay.
And am I correct in assuming that even if we decide to go ahead with an ordinance and draft an ordinance, the board does not necessarily have to vote for the ordinance?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So you're not, all you're doing
not
now
committing to
is
anything.
approving
Right.
the recommendation to move forward with drafting an ordinance.
Correct. Yes.
Spending more time.
Yeah. And I think that's the right way to do it.
Well, yeah, because I don't think we want to be caught with our proverbial pants down if this does pass, because then it becomes, you have to allow it. So
And then
I
you
think
got
we need to
time,
think about it.
yeah.
so.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And if you guys vote against the recommendation, then it dies now.
Everyone is quiet.
Well, I'm
Well,
sure.
I don't like the wording, like, to allow chickens and quails with detail, so we're saying if I read this, it says we're changing ordinance.
No.
No,
We're
we're
just-
just.
I know that's what really
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
but if I make a motion, I wanna make sure it doesn't come across as like we're changing ordinance.
Right. So,
And
So I'm
I
gonna try to word that.
would make the ordinance, but I'm chair of the safety committee. It seems a little bit like a
that's okay. We'll let
conflict
you-
of
sure.
interests.
All right, I'll make the motion to accept the committee's recommendation to allow chickens or quails contingent on further details to be determined with no ordinance change at this time.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? That's for you, Dan. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
All right, motion passed. Okay, we'll move on. Do we have to do anything with the operator's license, or we just approve them, right?
You just have
Make a
to
motion.
approve them. All three of them do not have a record, so they can just be approved.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the new operator license for Lisa Tangen, Taylor King, and Jory Petrie.
I'll second.
motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passed.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, motion's been made. Everybody okay with the journey?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.